Have you ever looked at your terminal file manager and thought, this is too much bloat for me? If so, I've got the script just for you. So today we're going to take a look at something called DmenuFM, which uses Dmenu as a base for a file manager. So if you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe and ding a little bell icon down below because it'll really help the channel out. I'm aiming for 1,000 subs and any help will be really appreciated. So now that's out of the way, let's get started. Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. So this is the GitHub page for DmenuFM. Before anyone says anything, I am well aware that DistroTube did a video on this a couple of days ago. But the reason I'm doing this is because he didn't go over a lot of the stuff that was in it. He pretty much only went over how to move between folders and how to delete stuff. And also a couple of things have changed, primarily because I've actually been helping to actually increase some of the functionality of this program. So the GitHub page is fairly simple. It shows some how to actually use it and nothing too special in here. So for dependencies, everything in here is just your pretty much standard stuff that you'd have on any Linux distribution. So DmenuFM is designed to be a POSIX compliant file manager that is just, I think, about 440 something lines of shell script right now. So it should work on anything that has a shell that supports POSIX compliant script. So bash, Z shell, C shell, TC shell, not fish. Fish is going to be a problem, or any of the other shells that don't want to be POSIX compliant, but any of the standard shells will work perfectly fine. So yeah, for dependencies, you'll need things like awk, sed, cat, wc, rm, makedir, and touch, which you've probably got installed unless you're on the most minimalist of minimalist distributions. Xclip, if you're on Arch, you might not have installed, but on anything else you will. And then for extraction, you need tar and all the, I'm not even going to try to say that one, bunzip, unrar, unzip, uncompress, 7z, and all the others. You can see them. So yeah, all of these are just fairly standard utilities. There's nothing too crazy that it needs. So to install this, it is very, very simple. So it's just a shell script, so you don't actually need to actually install anything really. So all you need to do is go and download the Git Repo or clone it. So we'll do that now actually. So I'll open up a terminal and then we can go git clone and then we paste in the URL. We download that and I've already got it downloaded, but if you didn't, then it would actually load that up properly. So do I actually have it in that folder anymore? Or did I move it out? No, it is still in there. Okay. So the script itself is called DmenuFM. So if we cd into there, we've got these two files in here. So we've got DmenuFM and DmenuFM.ext. So the reason that's separated, not actually sure. So ext is for file extraction. I'm guessing the dev couldn't work out how to do this within the main file. I'm not exactly sure. So right now they are separated, but at some point they will be merged together. I might just do that myself because it's dead simple to do. So there's a couple of things that you can configure with this, but we'll go over those in a little bit. So I'm not going to use that version. I'm going to use my slightly modified version, which I've just changed the name and also the font that it's using. So if we run DFM, that will then open up this Dmenu thing. We've got everything in here that is in my actual folder. So this is my home directory right here. So I've got my desktop, DmenuFM, documents, downloads, any of just the normal stuff that's in my actual directory. So you may have noticed this actions and terminal. So what terminal will do, we'll open up a terminal in that directory. So as we can see here, and then when we close this, it will reopen up DmenuFM, which is cool. So if you want to do something like run some sort of script in the current directory that you're in, or whatever other reason you want to have a terminal open. And this other option we have in here is actions. So in here we've got copy path, which I believe will copy the current path to, let's see, what will that do? We copy that one, copy direct, oh no, my bad. I think that will actually copy, what will that do? That's actually not clear. I thought it was just going to copy the folder or something. Maybe that is what it does, but it's just not clear. So we've also got this new in here, so you can create a new file or directory. You've got move files, remove files, trash, history, bookmark, and frequently used command. So I'll actually run this copy path and see what it does. We'll copy that or something. Xclip command not found. That's weird because I know I have Xclip installed. So yeah, this is still very much a work in progress. So there's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't work 100%. Yeah, I don't know what that was supposed to do. So yeah, as I said, it's not perfect, but a lot of the stuff does work properly. So if you were going to use this, I wouldn't use it for anything where you're super worried about stuff. So don't use it in like your root directory or anything like that. But for things like removing files and this trash, it actually works fine. And also the history, I believe, yeah, that will just bring up the log of all the things that you've gone through. So that's perfectly fine. I'll show you where that is actually saved in a second as well. So yeah, create new file. Does this work properly? File? No, that doesn't work at all. Okay, so yeah, there's, as I said, a lot of work left to do on this. So right now, the only things I am certain that are working are moving between folders and also deleting. And the trash also works perfectly fine. Also the history, I guess. So the main thing that I'm using this for, because I, as I said, am worried about using this for anything super serious just because of how many issues it currently has. I'll show you guys what I'm currently using it for. So if we bring up the help menu for this, so dfm-h or DmenuFM-h, then you can see that it can also just show your directory, your files only, your dot files, your dot directory, and this last path here. The dev, or the main guy on it, didn't actually implement it the way that I had intended. He kind of did it a bit differently, but as it is, it actually works perfectly fine. So what last path will do is, if we run DmenuFM with -p, it'll open it up in the last directory we're in. We will move somewhere that wasn't the home directory so you can actually see that. So we're in the downloads right now. And if we run it like that, then it'll open up in the downloads folder. So that in itself, I wouldn't say is super useful, but there is actually a use for it. So if we bring up LF, a good file manager, we go into my config folder, and all the configs for it are saved in DmenuFM. So we've got this history and we've got this last path. So last path is actually what I'm talking about that's really useful. So what I mainly use this for, which I've got bound to mod G, basically, as you can see, it'll open up DmenuFM like we have before. But let's say we go into the documents folder and we go into scan documents. So if I quit it here, what it's going to do is actually open up a new terminal in this actual directory. So unlike the terminal that opens before, which if you quit, it'll go back into DmenuFM, this is a separate instance of the terminal. So this is just a very simple script that I've bound in my i3 config. So I'll just show you the actual script for it. So no point showing you the binding in i3, that's kind of a waste. Open in terminal. So yeah, basically what we do is we open up DmenuFM, then we'll take that last path that we got from that file, and then if there is a path, then we will cd into there and then open up a terminal in there. So that'll just take whatever my current standard terminal is, and right now that is st. So I think that's the majority of what you can do with this program, really. Right, to configure it. So you can actually change the font that it's using, because by default it's just set to your standard monospace font at some quite large sizes. So I'll just show you on the main one. So DmenuFM. Anyway, so the font is in here. So the gen font is the standard font, that's the general font. Then the nota font is the notify font, and the danger font is the, obviously for dangerous things. So the danger font is used for things like when you're trying to delete some stuff or anything that'll be permanently changed. The notify, I believe, is used for, I'm not sure what that's used for. Maybe if you go into a prompt menu or something like that, that might be used. So yeah, as default, it's using monospace and then -15. So that's monospace at 0.15 size. So this uses the dmenu syntax of setting a font. So it's the font family or font name and then the size. So this doesn't actually have to be a font family. If we want to have it just as another font, like let's say source code pro medium, because that is the best font, objectively the best font, fight me if you think otherwise. And let's say we want to have it at size 20 for whatever reason. So now if we run that DmenuFM, the font is now set to the source code pro medium, which is the font I have on my main one, so you probably can't tell a difference, but the size of it actually is bigger. So if we bring that back up and go back to the monospace font, just so you can actually see what the difference is. Yes, I know I'm very bad at using Vim, but whatever. Anyway. And now it's a different font. So this is just my standard monospace font. So yeah, I think now that's pretty much everything for this. So as I said, it's still very much a work in progress, but I do see a lot of hope for this as just a very basic file manager, or like I'm using, just as a way to open up a terminal in a separate directory. So if you like this video, remember to smash that like button and leave me a comment down below to let me know what you think. If you want to see more videos like this on random scripts, if you got any scripts that you want me to actually check out, let me know down below and I'll happily check them out. Or if you want to tell me about them on my Discord, there is a link down below to go to that. So if you want to see more videos like this, remember to subscribe and ding the little bell icon down below, because it'll really help the channel out. If you want to see my videos on a platform that isn't YouTube, then I've also got my library, which will be down below, so go check that out. So I think that's pretty much everything for this. My Twitter and all that are down below, and also the playlist this video is in will be up in the top corner, so go check that out as well. So that's everything for me, and I'm out.